Okay, this is a review for the right triangles test, and sine and cosine are not going to be on there, so only tangent's going to be on there. So I want to review right triangles real quick. Okay, tangent of the angle, I'll just use A to represent the angle, as opposite over adjacent, right? Okay, so from the perspective of the angle, we look for the opposite and adjacent. Okay, now CA is what we're trying to find, right? So CA is X. Okay, so opposite is X, adjacent is 12. Remember, opposite's way on the other side and adjacent's right next to it, but not the hypotenuse, right? Okay, so this is the adjacent side. So opposite and adjacent. So you would say tangent of the angle, which is 33 degrees. All I'm doing is filling in this formula. Okay, opposite is X, so that goes on top, right there, right? And then adjacent's on bottom, which is 12. Okay, whenever X is on top, all you have to do is multiply these two together, like cross multiplication. The only thing is you got to make sure the 12 is in front. So you say 12 tan 33. Okay, before I do that, I want to make sure that my mode's correct. Okay, so turn this on, mode. It's in degree mode, so I'm good. If degree's not highlighted, you'll get all your answers wrong. Okay, so I'm going to clear that, and I'm going to say 12 tan 33, hit enter, and I'm going to get 7.8. Okay, what I just found was CA, the length of this segment. Okay, all right, let's do the next one. Okay, that was X on top. X on top you multiply, right? And then this one, tangent of 39, okay, is equal to opposite, which is way over here, 20, and then AN is the one we're trying to find, which is X. All these are tangent problems on purpose. Okay, so opposite over adjacent, so 20 is on top and X is on bottom. Okay, remember, you switch these guys, right? So this one becomes X, and then this one becomes tan 39. So basically I'm going to do 20 divided by tan 39. Sorry, I've been coughing. I don't have COVID though. All right, 1039, hit enter, and it's 24.7. Okay, so the length of AN is 24.7, rounded to the nearest 10. Okay, and then the last one here, let me see. It says to find angle N, and then it's got this X. Let's mark that out. Okay, angle N. So we're trying to find that angle, right? So anytime it's an angle, ding, 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 we do the inverse, right? Right? And we know everything's tan problem, but basically this is opposite over adjacent, so it must be a tangent problem, right? So we do inverse tan, right? Okay? So inverse tan is the key that's right above tangent, okay? And it's blue, and that's why we use the second key and then tan to get inverse tan. So we go, which one goes on top though? Which one's opposite? Okay, of this angle, opposite would be 20, so that's why it goes on top. And then adjacent is 30, so that's why it goes on bottom. So now I do second tangent, which is inverse tangent, and then 20 divided by 30. Anyway, inverse tangent you always use whenever you're finding an angle. Ding, 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 right? Okay, so whenever I talk about angles, I tell people to use the nearest degree. So this is 34 degrees. If it's a side, we do nearest tenth. If it's an angle, we do degrees. Okay, nearest degree, whole number. Okay, so these are all different types of right triangle problems, okay, that you might see on the test. Okay, this is 45, that's a 90, so this must be a 45. So remember, you either multiply or divide by radical 2, square root of 2, right? Okay, you know this one's 12, and they want this one, right? They want that one, AC. So if you go this way, you're getting bigger, so you multiply by radical 2. Either one, you multiply by radical 2. So 12 times radical 2 is 12 radical 2. And that's the exact answer, 12 radical 2. Okay, if I would have gone backwards, I would have divided by radical 2, going big to small, but I'm going small to big. Okay, now this one says 65, so it must be some kind of trig problem, right? And we're only doing tangent problems, so it's going to be probably a tangent problem. Okay, CA is this one, so I'm going to put an X in. There's the angle. This is opposite over adjacent, right? Adjacent's next to it, but not the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is over here, right, across from the right angle. So like I said before, the tangent formula, okay, would tell you to put the 65 degrees here, okay? And then opposite is x and adjacent's on bottom. So what do you do when x is on top? Yeah, you just multiply these two together. Which one has to be in front? The 16. So you say 16 tan 65, punch it into your calculator and you're done. So 16 tan 65, enter, and it's 34.3, okay? So that is the length of CA, 34.3. X on top, you multiply. 16 has to be in front. Okay, is this a Pythagorean triple? Well, that means that all three numbers are whole numbers. Okay, 6 and 8 are whole numbers, so that's good. So now we have to, use the adding Pythagorean theorem to find the third side to see if it's a whole number as well. Okay, so whenever you punch that into a calculator, you go second radical 6 squared plus 8 squared, and you get 10. So is it a Pythagorean triple? Yes, all of them are whole numbers, so you would say yes. Okay, next. Okay, so this one says find angle C. That's this angle right here. So ding, 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 finding an angle, right? Ding, ding, ding. Now this is opposite over adjacent, so that's tangent. So if you're finding an angle, ding, 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 inverse tangent, right? Second tangent, and then which one goes on top? If you said 60, you're right. Okay, that's the opposite, and this is the adjacent, so 60 over 100. Okay, so let's punch this in. So second tangent, and then 60 divided by 100 would be 30.96. So I'll just go ahead and say 31. 31's good enough. Okay, so that's an angle, so 31 degrees. Okay? All right. Now this one has a 60 in it, so that's a 90, so this would have to be a 30, right? A 30, 60, 90. Okay? Whenever you go this way, this is the radical 3 side, right? And this is the 2 side. So whenever you go this way, you're getting smaller, right? So you would divide by what? By radical 3. The formula is this, right? It's x, 2x, and then x radical 3, right? So this one right here is the radical 3 leg. Okay, so if you're going this way, you're getting smaller. So 80 divided by radical 3 will give you some kind of decimal. Okay, so 80 divided by radical 3 is 46.2. Okay, so this one's 46.2. What'd they ask for? They asked for AC, so that's this one. So you don't go around 30, you got to go this way. You got to do 2 steps. Okay, so you found this one, and now what do you do to go here to here, right? Do you remember? Yeah, this is the 2 side, right? The 2 side, you multiply by 2 because you're getting bigger. So 46.2 times 2 is 92.4. So 92.4 is this one. Okay, 92.4. All right, so you divided by radical 3, multiplied by 2. All right, this one. It says find AN, so I'm going to put an X there. And that's a weird looking angle. It's not a 30 or a 60 or 45, I'm sorry. Anyway, so that's opposite over adjacent, so we're doing tangent. Okay, tangent of 38 is equal to what over what? Opposite over adjacent, so 46 over X. If you have X on bottom, you switch them, right? So that one's gone, that one's gone. Now put tan 38 here. Can y'all see that? Yeah. And then this is X. So basically I'm doing 46 divided by tan 38 with my calculator. And that'll give me the answer to AN. So 46 divided by, and then tan 38, and I get 50.1. No, 58.9. Good grief. 58.9. Okay, so that's the length of AN. All right, almost done. Okay, other side, a few problems. Okay, this is isosceles, so if it's isosceles, then aren't these two congruent? Okay, so how would I find X? Well, it doesn't have an X. Well, how about this one? We'll say X. This says find AB, so that's good enough. So this should be AB. Okay, so basically these are the same size, right? And if they are the same size, then isn't this a 45, 45, 90, right? Base angles are congruent, right? So if that's 90 and there's 90 left over for these two, then divide it by 2 and you get 45 and 45, okay? So if you're going this way, are you getting smaller or bigger? Smaller, right? Okay, so if you're getting smaller, you got to divide. So 30 radical 2 divided by what? By radical 2, because that's the formula, right? If these are congruent, and that's a 90, then this is x, and this is x radical 2. So anyway, so you divide by radical 2, cancel those, and you get 30 for both of those sides, right? Okay, it's easy. All right, they want the height, which is here, okay? Now, if it's equilateral, isn't this a 60, and isn't this a 60, and isn't this split up into 30 and 30? So yeah, that's a 30, 60, 90. I'll be right back. I'm almost there. Hang on. Okay. Basically, this is a 30, 60, 90 on either side, right? So either way we want to go, it's a 30, 60, 90. Okay? So 24, this would be 12. Okay? So how do I go from here to here on a 30, 60, 90? How do I do that? Basically, from here to here is multiplying by radical 3, right? So 12 radical 3 is the answer, the perfect answer. You know, some people would have done 24, you know, like this, 24 squared minus 12 squared, right? And that would have given you the answer, but this is quick. You know, you get 12 and then multiply by radical 3 and you're done. And it's the exact answer. Okay? So is this a right triangle? Okay? What you have to do is use the Pythagorean theorem to find out. You plug it in, make sure the biggest side goes in for C, and then you see if it's equal on both sides. If it's equal on both sides, then it's a right triangle. If it's not, then it's not a right triangle. So 60 squared, okay, 60 squared is 3,600. Okay, 80 squared is 6,400. Okay, and then that's like 10,000, right? And then 110 squared would be 12,100. Are they equal? No. Is it a right triangle? It's not a right triangle. Okay, you get it? And then last one here, same problem, just it's written in sides. Okay, so do these sides make a right triangle? Well, it's a Pythagorean triple if it does. But anyway, basically you do the same thing. 15 squared plus 36 squared equals 39 and see if it's equal. Okay, I'm just going to do the whole thing right here. 15 squared plus 36 squared and say enter, and that's 1,521. Okay, now I'm going to say 39 squared. Can y'all see that over here? I guess so. 39 squared. And guess what? That's 1,521. So is this a right triangle? Yes. It's a right triangle. All right. Anyway, y'all do good on this test. All right. See you later. Bye.